Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be reviewing my first round game from the 2026 Gohio State Championship. This tournament was held on March 28th and was held in Columbus, Ohio at the Ohio State University. In previous years, there has been the Midwest Open, which was kind of like the biggest Ohio tournament. But since this year I think it was this year. It was in Chicago this time around. This was almost like a spiritual successor in terms of having a big event in Columbus. And it did deliver. We had about 40 players, which, again, for a regional Go tournament is quite nice. It was organized by Jeremiah Donnelly, a.k.a. Jay. And, he should be happy with his turnout and should be proud as well for running such a big event as well. Without further ado, let's jump in. My first round game was against Janar Kahr, Fordon. He played the black pieces, I played the white pieces, and this was an even game. The handicap was -2, so we played an even game. And Janar I've played before in the past, and all of our games are always chaotic, so expect fireworks in this game as well. Time settings was 30-minute main time with 15-second increments because it was Fisher time, so you have 30 minutes to start, and every move you play you get 15 seconds. Without further ado, let's jump right in. And we get this opening, and the reason why I'm mentioning this specifically is I believe the last time we played was in a Cleveland tournament, and I think this was the exact opening that, because Janar also had black in that game, that we started with as well. Maybe my right side wasn't 4 points, but definitely black had this formation. I played the approach, and black pincered, and again, I think this is what the exact pincer he did in our game as well. And in that game, I'm pretty sure we had something along the line, something like this. I forget if he did the knight's move or the one-space jump, but I did some jumping out move and then played something like this. So I think this is similar to, or this is kind of what we did in our game. But I know that this is a very complicated Joseki, of course. And I also know, because he's in Columbus, Black lives in a region with a lot of other strong players that I know very much like this push and cut. And I know they all, study and talk about it. So I was maybe not scared, per se. Maybe scared is too strong for it. But I was wondering if, maybe they have talked about this, right? Because they're all together and they're all strong players. Maybe they've discussed this amongst themselves. So I was feeling like, okay, maybe black has better preparation for this Joseki, because again, this is one of those Josekis like the avalanche, like the flying knife, like the great Muramasa's sword, where if you mess it up, it is catastrophic, because they are quadrant big Josekis that if you mess up, you're pretty much handing your opponent the victory, especially at the stronger amateur levels. So yes, and I have ways I've dealt with this in the past where I'll maybe, instead of playing the shoulder hit, I'll play moves like this to threaten e16 or to threaten the shoulder hit at d11. But in this game, I just decided to do something else entirely. Come this way, and black played here, which in general, playing a 3-3 is never going to be bad. You can pretty much always 3-3. I will say, though, in this case, as black, I would actually want to approach from this side because I actually want to play from my lower left. And let's say if white just backs off, then I would play maybe this 2-space extension. And this is a very nice formation in the lower left for black. So this is possible. Again, 3-3 can never be bad, though, as well, but it does allow me, after we finish off the Joseki here, to get this extension, which puts pressure in the lower left, of course, but is also a nice extension for my wall. Black does the diagonal. That's a big spot to get, especially when white has left it, but black ignored my h3, so I attach. And again, there's various ways white can continue, or black can continue, but the basic idea is with having h3 here, white can do this double hane, and when black cuts here, there's a cut here at c3 black needs to worry about, but white can connect back to f3. So black connects, I connect back, black breaks my tiger's mouth, black really needs this move, and then white connects, or white stands up, leaving this potential weakness here. Black jumps out, white turns, and then black pushes and cuts. And black cuts on the side black doesn't want, and then we get this result. And if you just stare at this kind of in a vacuum, if you will, it does feel like a strange joseki. And even from my experience, it still kind of feels a little strange, only because in a fight like this, the cutting stones are very valuable, right? Generally speaking. And so, not that the only value c5 has is putting pressure in the corner, but if these two stones get captured, then it's really hard to see what these c5 stones are doing. But if you take into account here, when this happens, white gets a very strong shape on the bottom. And this very strong shape works very nicely with white's joseki choice in the lower right. But also, white still has time to make this extension from these three stones. So, yeah, while it might look a little strange, it's actually still okay for white to play this way. For example, white could have played a different way. Maybe, like here, white can play maybe this hanging connection, right? Even black gets an extra move too. But just for example, black would then just be able to capture these two stones anyways. And it's actually quite hard for white to get into the left side now. There's no way for white to actually break through black's formation here. And not that white would play these moves, but if you're looking at this left side, how would you want to get in? So actually turning here and allowing black to push and cut allows white the chance to get this extension here. So yeah, all that being said, it's probably roughly even as a result. Now here, I think this is a very important point in the game where black should play one of two moves. Black should either play this move to secure this stone here at c15, or even jump up to be a little more flexible. I probably lean towards e12, and the thing about e12, because in the game, black plays in the lower right and does this joseki, which again, this is a big joseki, but I'm gonna show you why black should have played e12 and explain why maybe this was a little mistimed by black. So when black plays e12, obviously it's surrounding c15, but look what it does to the lower left as well. So let's say black wanted to get rid of the r7 move for white. Let's say black does it, or black allows that to happen. But now, once black gets this jump up, black can now attack white's left side. And this is very dangerous for white. White definitely wants to treat things lightly, but even if white does, like maybe white wants to make this exchange, but you'll end up seeing, even if white can come out somehow, what direction would this be going? It'd be going into white's potential. And that would not feel so nice for white, right? Like if white's running out this way, black is now just naturally ripping out the bottom side. And this left side is big enough that, like, I don't think white can just let black take the left side. That just feels way too much. That feels like way too much. And again, technically white can get a moyo themselves, but yeah, like this spans the entire left side, whereas the bottom side is only like a little piece of it. So yeah. And even if black doesn't want to do this directly, black could maybe play a move out in this way to reduce this side. But pretty much e12 keeps c15 kind of at bay and also is going to always put pressure on this left side group. Okay, but when black goes here and ends in gote, white now gets the first move on the left side. And again, on the left side, we have black group, white stone, black stone, and a white group. So generally speaking, when you have like this a cut up side like this, whoever gets the first move is going to have a major advantage. So this feels like the classic example of important moves before big moves. Black's move, if there was nothing going on the left side, this is one of the biggest things you can do on this board. But I don't think it's that important right now, especially when, like, if this put pressure on the bottom side, this might be worth it. But when black played this push and cut and allowed white to make this Ponuki, white is very solid on the bottom. White has no real danger at the bottom. So, yeah. So I attach here. Just attacking this one stone here. I'm attacking on black's strong side to attack black's weak stone here. And I also don't want to lean on this because, again, I'm also weak on the bottom left. So playing from this direction, would just help black surround me from here. So I attach to the upper left to naturally make black weaker on the left side. Black hanes, extends, and black pushes again. And I think this is where black needs to really make a decision on how much do I value this stone at C12. How much do I care about this stone? Yeah, because black could have jumped here, which again, jumping here not only attacks white's upper left, but also white's lower left. Now again, there is some potential here, and I would have probably cut directly. But that's where I think even black should just jump up now, like this. And if I play here, black can at least still keep some of the corner and keep attacking. Again, pretty much E12 is the key shape, if you want to think about it that way. But when black pushes here, it forces me to take that spot. So now I'm able to get E12. And again, here, black has a choice. Black could treat the left side lightly. Because whenever you evaluate a position, you don't want to just think locally. So you might be thinking, oh, well, black doesn't want to give white the entire left side. That'd be way too much. But you have to keep in mind, black also got something else on this board. Black got the lower side. So let's say black does treat things lightly. Let's say black goes here. Let's say play this. Let's say white clamps. Okay, black has reduced white's left side or made white take the left side on a small scale, and then black could continue, kind of get the follow-up to black's R2 move. But in the game, black stands up, and then white turns here. There's only really one way for black to connect. Now black kicks first, which I do like this timing, but after I descend, black makes the empty triangle. And I'm going to ask you a question, and again, anything could have happened, but how many points do you think this stone at C12 for black is going to make? Just remember that question, and we're going to revisit that in who knows how long, a few minutes. But yes, black could have just let me take in just the one stone, just taken third or fourth line territory, but now black has a weak group. And now that I've stood up like this, there's also less aji to attack me in the lower left. So it's even helped me secure my group here. Because now I can take the good shape. Black plays under. This could be a good exchange. But now that black has played it, black can't play something else later. So for what I mean by that is black could maybe play a move like this and then be able to connect, right? Something like this. And this wouldn't be that bad. Honestly. Yeah. But black goes here. Black is looking for a good end game, right? Now later black can play here and connect like this. But black has almost secured my group now. But even here, black should just turn. Because in the game, I cut, of course. I cut first. Very important shape here to know is a lot of players think you can descend. And after the descent, there's not really much you can do. Like even attaching here, black can wedge. And if you Atari, it doesn't help that much. You only have 2 liberties. And if you Atari here, kind of similar position where you just don't have a lot of liberties. Yeah, although I think here you got to play a move like, which one is it? Is it this one? You got to play some special move here actually. But yeah. Bottom line, there's a lot of danger, or there's not that much aji up there. But you can diagonal. This is kind of the move I remember seeing, or I've I remember seeing. Where pretty much you actually have quite a lot of liberties, because now if black descends, you have just one more liberty, which means there's a lot more Aji in this corner. But if black blocks here, you can Hane, and obviously there's a lot of weakness on black's outside. So yeah, I diagonal, black Ataris, blocks, I extend, and then peep. And the whole point of doing this was to create a weakness at G15. And the reason why I do it now is, let's say, because where I end up playing is here. This feels like a very natural move, keeping black separated. And if we do what we do in the game, something like this happens, and then I jump here, black now might play this cut differently. Like black might say, oh, well, now I don't care about those 2 stones, I'll just let you have them. And again, is this probably a good result for white? Yes. But by cutting first, black has to make a different decision. Right now, if black goes here, now I would play differently when I attack black on the left side. So again, I cut on this side first, but again, I'm actually looking at the left side. So we do that, peep, and play there, black jumps out, I jump out, black jumps out. And here, how many ways can you threaten to cut this stone at G15, or cut these stones at G15? Because you can stand up, right? This threatens to cut, black will fix. You can take this spot too, and black would have to fix. But there's even another way you can play, and that's to play here. You can play this move. This also threatens to cut. Now, the reason why I went with this one as opposed to, I think this one is definitely worse among the options. I think this one is possible as well. What I didn't like was, now I have even though I've hurt black's shape more, I have a knight's move connection here, so black could actually still separate me. So maybe I can even peep and kind of fix my shape a little bit, but I just wanted a clean, simple connection, which is why I just jumped up. Black plays here. This looks surprising, but this does actually fix the weakness here. And again, just to show that if black extends, black cannot save these 3 stones. Black only has 2 liberties, but this move does prevent that. But again, what am I aiming? What am I going after? The middle, so I'm playing towards the top side. Black pushes. Again, I'm going after the middle. Black plays this diagonal. The reason why black plays the diagonal is 1 space jumps feels natural, but white would peep here. And the direction feels quite good for white as well to get this. So that's why black diagonals. Whenever you see a diagonal like this, that's what it means, is they wanted to 1 space jump, but they didn't like the peep. So I Hane, again, just to create some questions for black, right? Now black went there. And here, we want to attack the left side, and we've definitely cut off the top side. Now, where is black's next closest stones? The right side, the lower right, right? And again, I do like this game just from an educational standpoint, just because of how I handled this fight. I think it's hopefully pretty easy to understand, kind of the moves I play in these games, or this game specifically, which I think, for educational purposes, is very good. Because I play here. This is a natural move to continue from this lower right Joseki, but it's because it's aiming at R8, but I'm obviously actually aiming at the center. So black plays here, and here I had a dilemma. It wasn't a big dilemma, but if I keep black separated, and also keep me connected, this is just going to be Dame. And obviously Dame is not worth anything. So I was like, okay, I could also push and cut. And I think push and cut is possible. But black gets a lot of free moves, and it does really help black's shape. So I don't actually want to push and cut for those reasons. But so I did just decide on connecting. I was like, I'm just going to keep things simple. I think I have an okay position. This is a position where black is better on points. Like black's top side, and combined with black's top side with black's lower left and lower right, black definitely has more points. But black has more problems than white does. And that is a problem for black. So black's going to have to almost pay for the weaknesses, or the weak group here on the left side at some point. And we can see that when black goes here, I clamp. Which again, on an empty board, black would probably just answer this, because this is quite a big move to get. But when black has to play in the center, and then I get this clamp. So I've already gained a little bit with my attack, as well as playing towards the top also, I gained a little bit. Black connects, and then all I'm going to ask is, look at black's shape here. What looks like a nice spot to get that just attacks black's shape? And this is why I often say shape knowledge is so valuable. Just look at black's shape. How would you attack black's shape? And what I mean by attack black's shape, what is a move that if black got would help black make good shape? And then as white, you want to take that spot. Because in the game, I play here. Because this is hitting the dog face, right? I'm playing the dog face. That's the move. If black gets a move here, black would really want to play this move. And maybe not this move exactly, but black wants to play some move to help black shape here. But once I get this move, notice I am hitting black's knight's move here. So I'm threatening to push and cut, but I'm also hitting black's large knights here. And this is very uncomfortable for black. If black stands up like this, then I still get to poke. And the problem is black can't make this peep to kind of help black connect, because when white connects, it makes G15 work for white. So black would have to play some sort of connection, and then I can still just keep attacking black's shape here, no matter how I end up doing it. Maybe I could play this move, maybe I could play this move, right? I can keep attacking black's shape. If black fixes like this, trying to bump, well, when I stand up here, I'm actually threatening to play this kind of... I'm playing at the bamboo joint of black's shape now, which again, this would be very dangerous for black. If black connects, we get this exchange. Black's losing the left side, and black might capture these 3 stones, but that's where white can save this and just play elsewhere right now. White doesn't need to play this immediately when white can still go after the whole group. But yeah, it's very ugly for black, which is why black goes here, because black doesn't want to give any of those extra moves. But then when I jump down, just look at black's shape in the center, right? Black is just not making any cash here. It was just because black was busy playing up top and having to play on the right side, but also having to juggle the center. So black jumps here again. Black's trying to make some nice shape, but I can just keep poking at the shape. So I play here. Black peeps. This is a nice timing. This is saying, do you actually care about the stone here? Because if you don't, then I don't need to, fix my connection here. So black's saying, do you actually care? I say, yes, I care. Then black attaches. Again, this is a nice... Black doesn't want to just connect by playing a move like this. Black's making sure I care about this stone before black does anything. I peep. Black connects. I hane. And then I double hane here. The idea with the double hane is black cannot cut this way because I can now double Atari black. And if black takes the 1 stone, yeah, black's center is now very weak. It's very, very weak. So black has to, once again, pull back. But then I can Atari this way. And the reason why I can Atari this way is it's quite hard for black to actually... Like if black extends here and I connect here, black actually cannot cut yet because black actually gets captured first. So black has to make an exchange like this. But now white's going to be able to live locally, and if black's getting separated off from the center, black's going to die on a large scale. Because like if black Atari's here, white can just maybe make this exchange here, just connect. If black has to take, which black pretty much has to, maybe it's not always sente, but it's very annoying to let white get that. But with moves like this peep and with this move, it's quite hard to kill white, actually. It's quite hard to kill white. And comparing to black shape, which if you've ever played the game Snake, where you have to try to collect the fruits, and every time you collect a fruit, the snake gets a little bit longer. That's what black shape here is reminding me of. But yes, that's why black can't do that, and black has to just Atari here and try to stay connected. So black does that. And again, everything here is just really looking at the shape points. So like right here, I'm looking at the shape point. How do I attack the shape point? I hit here, hit where the dog face is. Here, I'm looking to, this isn't necessarily a shape point, but it's looking to separate. And then same question here. How can you hurt black's shape? Play the bamboo joint. So I play the bamboo joint. Again, this is just saying, if black's able to get this move, black's shape stays a lot nicer. When black goes here and I can take it, now I'm threatening to cut. I'm threatening to cut here. And if black connects, I can even peep next. So, yes, black extends and then jumps. And I think this must be just like a plain reading error. Just because I can push and cut. And again, this is the beauty of the Joseki black shows. Is I'm very strong on the bottom, so I can just cut this. I think black just missed that I could cut that, is my best guess. Yeah. Black connects here. Again, a very nice, if I do say so myself, a very nice move coming up from white. Very unexpected, though. It's this move. Why is this move the move? It is because I'm threatening to play at L9. I'm threatening to play at L9. If I played this move, this still does not threaten to cut, because if I try to push through, it's a double Atari. But by going here, I'm fixing, for the most part, fixing my weaknesses here, my problems here, but it's forcing black to have to connect. So now I get the first move elsewhere, which I just descended here. Again, a lot of this game, once I started attacking black's shape, like when I connected here, I was really just thinking, okay, I have a feeling I have a good lead. Because again, black still isn't alive, but I was just like, let me just collect points, right? Again, we were saying, or as I was saying early on, black was doing a good job keeping points, but black had a weak group. So I do need to make points at some point in the game. So I just descended here. I just said, okay, I could keep attacking, and maybe this would be okay, but if blacks can connect back, maybe there's life and death problems here because there's potential weaknesses in my shape. So I was just like, no, let's not deal with any of that. I'm just going to descend here. Just keep things simple. Black takes here. Yeah, this move it feels weird, but when I looked at it more, I was probably, okay, it does make some sense. It creates the potential Atari here or Atari here. Because if black just turns here, I could maybe even connect, and now black doesn't have that potential. When black goes here, it's still kind of hard for me to keep black surrounded. And again, there's potential here, Ataris, and yeah. I think it hurts white's shape. I just connect, and here, black turns here. I think this is, so far I'm pretty happy with my play, but this is where my first regret. It's this pushing here is so big. Like, why do I connect here if I'm not going to push? This push here is so big. So big. I can't describe to you how big this is. Not only does this have a follow-up, but capturing the stone here, I never mentioned it, but you could tell N16 was a little mistimed by black because black never got the follow-up, right? We kind of both forgot about that move because it was away from the action. And because of that, it was kind of mistimed. So if I can capture the stone, that's pretty nice because I just naturally was able to respond to it and end up surrounding it. But in the game, again, not that this move is horrible, but I went here. And I was just trying to avoid, even though I could go here, I was just trying to avoid any sort of weaknesses in my shape here. I was just trying to stay as solid as possible. Again, in this case, I can simply just attach here, and there's not really going to be any problems. But that was my idea. And especially if I connect here in black Ataris, I should definitely forget this one, or ignore this one. Yes. But in the game, I connected, go down, black goes down, black gets this Hane, and again, I'm just like, okay, I could ignore this, but I'm just going to take my points, and then black got to connect. And so I never got the follow-up to my M14 move. Otherwise, I should just do something else, right? If I'm not going to connect there, I should just like play from this direction then, right? Or just do something else. The whole point of connecting here is to push at M16, but I never got the push. So Yeah. But thankfully for me, black is still not alive in the center. So I was able to peep and then jump down. And yeah, black is still, again, I say the point of M14 is to push there. Obviously, it is still attacking black in the center. But yeah, black attaches and then goes here. I think this is slightly out of order, and you'll see why. Is because instead of taking the ko and then allowing black to connect out somehow, I can play this clamp like this. And even though black takes the stone, I'm able to seal black in, and black has one eye. Black only has one eye. But if black starts with this, I can't really do that same thing because now black, instead of clamping, black might do something else, right? Black might want a wedge, right? Wedge, and if we play this, yeah, now I can't actually even connect. So it's a little different depending on how white responds here, right? So yes, but black goes here and then goes here. I can now seal black in. Now this happened a few times in the tournament, and I don't know if it's a fatigue, because trust me, I was definitely fatigued. Maybe not in the first round, but by the end of the tournament, I was definitely running on fumes. But with this move here, I spent like the 2 minutes or so on this next move, and I just played the move I just didn't even read. So again, whether it's fatigue, laziness, I'm not sure. But I read this all out. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to play here. I'm going to play this one because this keeps my connection a lot better. Because if black ever pushes here, I can just always fix, right? And there's never really going to be an issue when black plays from this direction. So I don't know why I read all that and then went here. And I actually, maybe I didn't actually do it. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God. I felt like I had a visceral reaction to this move. Because black can still poke here. And if this poke is sente, and I have to, if I fix like this, black can still just cut me. And there's just a lot of, again, it turns out it's not that big of a deal. Like if white goes here. But notice there is a cut here. So, yeah, it complicates things more than it has to. And again, this happened a few times during the tournament. I remember specifically in the third round, a moment where that happened. I was like, oh my God, why do I do this to myself? But yeah, it turns out it wasn't that big of a deal, but mentally it was like oh my God. So we do that. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to fix. Not only does this fix the weakness, but also it is now threatening to get rid of black's eye. Black Ataris, that's good timing. And then black Ataris, again, good timing. And then I take. Black plays there. I block. Black plays there, but remember black's shape. I connect. Which, again, this threatens to cut these two stones off. And then I just fix. Because I'm saying, okay, if you want to live, by all means, have at it, right? You may live, but if I block here, this is just too much for white. Because remember, black had all those points I was talking about? That is true. The thing is, though, all those points black has not gained any since then. Like at move 30, black has as many points as black did now. Whereas if you look at the board now, white has a ton of points on the bottom, has a few points here, and the upper right is massive. And this also is saying, if I ever do fight this ko, I don't have to worry about this. Like, for example, if I do something else and black ever takes this ko, there is, once again, some potential problems here. Or if even black takes that spot. It's very annoying. It's a nice shape spot point to get. So I just said, okay, let me be solid. Black goes there, and then black clamps. I'm like, okay. And again, this makes sense because black needs to make points. So black doesn't have time to continue playing in the center. But I'm like, okay, I guess we're fighting this ko. So we have this huge ko for black's entire group. This entire group. And so I start chipping away at ko threats. So I play there. Black needs to connect. Go there. Black Ataris. This is, again, on paper, this is a mistake. I don't know if black was trying to keep more Agi alive here, but you can throw in here and you get an extra ko threat here because now you still get this Atari and this Atari. Because when you just go here, You have one more Atari, but if you had thrown in, you would have two more. So I cut here. This cut might look strange, but this is ensuring I get two co-threats out of this area. So for example, I could push here, and black could connect, but this move is now not a co-threat, because losing those 3 stones, especially in exchange for black getting into the corner, is not that big of a deal. It's not that big. But by cutting here, I'm threatening to, instead of pushing, I'm threatening to cut and extending. And even if black, as black does in the game, goes here, I still get an extra co-threat at H15. So I'm ensuring I get an extra co-threat as opposed to just pushing first. Now again, black actually does gain, 2 points there? Because I've played on the inside and black played here. So yeah, black has gained 2 points here. So it's not that it cost me nothing, but for the sake of the co, it's definitely worth it, I felt. Play there, black pushes, yep, answer. Played here, and there's another kind of question I was debating with myself is how big is this move? And when I look at this game, I should just play this move. The reason why this move is that big of a problem for me is if black takes, obviously I can cut these off, right? And then black would get into my upper right somehow, and this is probably still a win for white. Again, the bottom side is now even bigger. But the reason why, why didn't I do this? It didn't feel that big, but the real problem is, if I make a co-threat, which I do, I go here, is black has a co-threat when black takes J8. Because this threatens to make another I. So this is really why I should just take this co-threat. It is a dual co-threat, as in it's a co-threat that both sides can play. So I should just take this, and if black wants to win the co, okay, and I'll just take the 14, 18 points there. So, yes. But black goes there, and I still have to fight the co. So now I don't even get that possibility. But I get this co-threat. Black Ataris. I descend here, yep. Black plays there. Push. This was another co-threat I was really debating not answering. But since this is like, I just kept telling myself, okay, you don't need to win this co. You don't need to win this co. You don't need to win this co. You just need to gain something from this. This is like this is the most flower co or flower co's, right? If I win it, obviously black's entire group dies. But if black wins it, black just makes 2 points. So I don't need to do anything crazy. So I go here. Which again, this is hard for black to ignore. Black could go here, but then once again, the dilemma becomes white has too many points there. So black felt, black has to answer. But I have what a lot of players call the co-factory. That's a threat to where play there. I have to play that one. Where I just have so many co-threats here. And since everything in the center is bigger, it doesn't matter if I'm throwing away points up top either. Black throws in, I take. Again, this is a little annoying, but this would limit black's co-threats, but would be worse for me in terms of endgame. Because black later can play A19 into A17. And what that meant as well is, if this is like this, and I want to use this co-threat, I would now be sacrificing those 4 stones. So that's why I just took. It was good order of moves by black, but that's why I took. Because now I at least still have, I have to throw in, I still have a co-threat at C19. So then I turn and black says, okay, I don't have enough threats. So remember, way back earlier in the game, I asked a question. How many points do you think, I believe it was the C12 stone was going to make? Well, the final answer was 2 points. And I think black technically captured a stone here. But yes, black, and maybe here. But yeah, black made 2 eyes with this whole group. Which again, I didn't know that was going to happen, but that just why early on I got the inkling that, oh, black shouldn't really be trying to save these stones. Black should try to treat them lightly. Because then I just capture the upper right, and yeah, we just kind of went into endgame. There is still some fireworks, but the majority of the game is, like the main points of the game is done with. Because black knows black's behind, so black extends here. But there's a cut here, and black does a co. So, and to be fair, black does have co-threats. by pushing here. That's a co-threat. I can extend, which is also a co-threat. Black can cut. Now this co-threat's very interesting. And co-threat management, as we've seen so far in this game, is very important. Like how I cut first at K15 to gain a co-threat, or where black could have thrown it at L1 to have gained a co-threat as well. So black goes here. This is a... So here, for me, if I went here, black does now not have a co-threat there, right? And I need to answer this because this would get cut off. So speaking of co-threat management, if I go here, black gets no more co-threats there. But I have technically lost a point because I could go here. But if I go here, black gets another co-threat at N14. So this is the little minutia that you have to consider when you're playing co-threats, or even when you're answering co-threats, is, okay, I lose a point by going here, but I don't give my opponent a co-threat. If I go here, I gain a point, but I give my opponent an extra co-threat. Now, the bonus of playing N15 is I've actually given myself another co-threat by going here. Because black took away a liberty, or because black's co-threat forced me to take away a liberty, these stones are now very low on liberties. So I can actually just capture if I do this. This is just a capture. Black has 2 liberties, I have 3. There's no way for black to get more. So black has to answer. Now black's answer here is a mistake. I think black needs to do this one. But regardless, white is going to get even a few more co-threats after this. Black goes there, I take, black can cut. So black has a lot of co-threats here as well. This would be a co-factory, if you will. Black goes there, black goes there, takes the co, I can wedge. And again, this is where black's really going to bleed some points here because black can't even block because then this is still a co. Right? Black can take at M19 first, but yeah, it's going to be some sort of co. So black has to just play here. But even this, I get more co-threats. So then black goes here. So speaking of co-threat management, I was looking at this. I was like, okay, if I do this, right, I've answered once, answer twice, answer 3 times, right? Black gets 3 co-threats. But if I take, black only gets 1 co-threat, right? Or maybe I answer once and I answer twice. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to reduce black's amount of co-threats. But what I failed to realize, as we see, so I Atari and take, black Atari is okay, good there. I Atari is when I take the co back. Black turning is a co-threat because I am not alive in the upper right. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's a mistake by me. So it's for the sake of that, it's actually better to play this one because black actually gets more co-threats as in the game because black can now live in the corner here. Because how I thought black was going to do it was extend like this because then black gets 1 threat. Maybe this isn't good because is this a threat? Well, this would still be a threat later. Yeah. So I felt black could get like 3 or 4 threats here. So the way black did it almost threw me off, but it was definitely okay as it turns out. So at this stage, again, I'm like, okay, don't do anything you're going to regret later. So I simply just descend. I'm like, okay, if you want to live there, feel free. And technically this move, it keeps black unsettled in the corner. Like black would still not be alive in the corner, even after black's move. This move might look like the key spot, but because I have Q19, this corner would still not be alive. So yes, black goes here, which again, this is the best way for black to live because at least like the other variation, black is 100% dead. But in this variation, it's at least still a co. But then I play here and almost making the co bigger. But to be 100% honest, this was a mistake by me. Like, not that it was a mistake in the game per se, but in my reading, it was a mistake because I thought when black took, I could Atari here. But obviously, I'm in Atari myself. So when black actually took the co, I was like, oh my goodness, did I really misread that? I was very frustrated. But thankfully, I still have threats. So I Atari here. Yep, that's pretty big. Black takes. I go there. Now again, the problem for black is we're not just fighting this co. White can win the co. Like if black plays a move, obviously black can still do this threat. But let's say black plays a move like, I don't know, like let's say black says I'm going to live. Well, white doesn't need to win the ko by taking, white can win the ko by taking at c2. And this would kill the entire bottom left. So, yeah, black kind of has to just give up. Because even if black makes this threat, white would still have another threat at s5. And then after black answers this one, now there would not be a threat for black. Yeah. So, yes. So black just descends, and then I can take. And again, if black had gone here, like I get into the lower left, black gets into the upper right. The score probably doesn't actually change all that much, to be honest. But it would still be better than the game, because in the game, black cuts here, but I can play t18, and this is the co-variation. And this is, again, where q19 is very helpful again, because I can play here. And black cannot play r19. And it's because of q19, black cannot play r19. So black plays there, and then we get this ko. But because of this group, I still have co-threats here. So I cut, black plays there. Black cuts, yes, that is a threat. So I answer, and then I play here. So this move is a big mistake. And I shouldn't say it's maybe not a big mistake, but it's definitely a mistake. It's a mistake because, let's say black answers, right? And then we do this, and black makes this co-threat. I have to answer this. The question is this move a co-threat? It is not, because all I'm threatening to do is capture 2 stones. Black can still live. But if I make this threat first, now if black, the same move, now if I take, black is now not alive. Because now if black goes there, obviously I can Atari. If black goes here, I can go here. So, and the thing is, I'm still going to get this as a threat. So I could get either move at any time, but doing this one first was a mistake because black can now live, right? If I do that here, black can still live. So yeah, I was, again, kicking myself here. Like, I thought it was the same, but it was not the same, as it turns out. Black Atari, so there's that extra threat. But I don't have just A1, I can play at S5, which black has to answer. And again, at this point, black does not have a big threat, but this is probably the best thing to do, is to play here. But yeah, I can just take, and I have so many inside liberties that any fight here is going to favor me. Like, if black plays here, I can just bump and then cut. And because of this cut here, it's 5 liberties to 4 liberties. So I can even just ignore here. I have enough liberties. So, yeah. So in the game, black did this, and I pushed here and cut. Black could connect back. But at this stage, yeah, after I take, now the game is pretty much over. We're in endgame. One final thing I want to mention then, which is, again, is a minor thing, but it's almost like the theme of this game is co-fights, is how do I get more co-threats here? Because obviously I can Atari here and black has to take, but I can descend first. And descend is a nice move because black has to still answer, but now when I Atari, I get an extra co-threat. We're basically comparing this shape to this shape, right? Where that has, this shape is perfect, whereas this shape still has an Atari at S5 or T5. So by descending, I can gain an extra co-threat. Now again, will this matter? Not this late in the game, but you never know what could happen. So yes, but we wrap up. I think this was a misclick by me when I was making the game recording. I think I definitely went there, but yes. Yeah, we just kind of wrap up, and yeah, annoyingly, because the game, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but the rules were AGA, and AGA is very hard to make game records for in a separate software because a lot of them get it wrong. Like, I was even using the C Gobon to make the record, which apparently has AGA, but because you have to pass stones when you're actually like counting, there's not a good way to illustrate that when you're trying to replay the game or remake the Kifu. So the score's slightly off from what we counted in the in tournament, but the result was the same. So according to the software, it was white by 33.5. I think it was a little bit smaller than that, again, because of pass stones and things like that. But yeah. Yeah, very crazy game, and we're going to keep track of this. As you can see with the prisoners down here, white had 42 prisoners, black had 38. Again, with all the codes, that is expected, but we had to do a prisoner exchange because we were both so low on stones by the end that we had to exchange prisoners to get stones to play with. So that is one game out of one where we have to do prisoner exchanges. And just as a spoiler, this will not be the only game that happens. So again, this tournament, you'll see with these games, all these games are crazy games, crazy games. So yeah, I think though with this first game, I was happy with it. And I think from an educational standpoint, I think the main thing you want to take away from this is how white attacked black here. And looking at not only leaning on the top, but leaning on the right side, and then hitting black's weak points in the center. And why hitting those weak spots when I did was the correct timing. But yes, after the first round, from the first round, I got the victory. So I was 1-0, and I was feeling pretty good, despite some mistakes in the codes here and there. But yeah. That's it for my first round game review. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next video.